Tjena, välkommen till Sweeds gym.
That was very Swedish. All right, we just finished our leg day. We're going to take you guys through it. How do you feel about the leg day?
It was brutal.
It was brutal.
Brutal.
So the leg day is definitely the hardest day to do because everybody hates to do legs because usually...
I don't hate to do legs.
You know, I don't either, but if it's ever a day where I'm tired, the worst day to do on that tired day is leg day. Like, I can push through a chest day, I can push through a pull day, but leg day, I mean, I still do it. And once I get started, I was like, it's fine. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into it.
See ya.
All right, here is the program for you to follow along with. Go ahead and screenshot this or type it up yourself, whatever you want to do. Make sure you get this, print it out, and use it for your workout. Starting off, we're going to do some mobility and warm-ups. So getting your hips and everything going here. We're going to do 20 non-weighted air squats. Try to get super deep and open up your hips so you don't pull or hurt anything, and get some blood to those muscles before we get started with the weights. All right, next we're going to do some hip circles. So this is not a stretch. This is just moving your joints around. So don't go to the very end of your flexibility here where you're kind of pulling and stretching on your tendons and muscles. You're just doing some circles here to move your hip joints around in your ball socket. All right, next, moving down to our knee circles. So this, again, is not a stretch. We're just moving the joint to get some lubrication in there. So we're going to do circles to the left and circles to the right. Don't put your hand over your kneecap. You want your kneecap to move freely. This is, again, not a stretch, just a mobility exercise. And finally, ankle circles or ankle rotations. So when you're squatting and doing things like that, you really want to make sure you have good mobility in your knees, your hips, your ankles, and that's why we do all this before we start, so we prevent any injuries. All right, so moving on to the high back squat. So we're going to start with the first set, not counting in our number of sets. This is just going to be a warm-up set with no weight, but we want to warm up with the same exercise that we're going to be doing and loading. So if you watch Jane here, she's going nice and low and pausing at the bottom to get that good load on the full stretch of the muscle. And we are here focusing on the quad and the glutes. All right, now moving on to our first set out of 4. We're going to have the same weight through all 4 sets. So every week after you've done your warm-up, you're going to go up 5 to 10 pounds on these lifts, and you're going to do that same weight every single set. Now, traditionally, most people do a pyramiding set where they start with like 125 pounds, then 135, then 145, and then finish with 155 or something like that. That is not how this program works. You're going to put on the weight, we're going to call it a working set, and you're going to do that same weight on all 4 sets. Then next week, you're going to go up if you completed all 10 to 12. If you did not complete it, you're going to stay at that same weight next week until you can complete all 4 sets of all 10 to 12 reps. All right, next we have the Romanian deadlift. So the important part is to hold it when it's down close to the ground. Do not set the weight down on the ground. This is not a traditional deadlift. We want to keep that tension in the back of the hamstring. So as you lower it down here, you're going to hold it for 2 seconds at the bottom. Even when it's loaded, do not set it down on the bottom. Hold it right there. Don't rest at the top. At the bottom is where we got that full stretch and we're activating that muscle. Part of the workout, setting this thing up. That's 8. Good thing it's not heavy. That's right. That's why we do this. My favorite machine though. All right, so pro tip on this. You'll see suggestive workouts where you should hold your leg here and burn the muscle. But really what you're doing is just building fatigue. This isn't growing your muscle. The negative is. So you want to get it up to the top quickly and then control it coming down. Don't waste your energy holding this here. You're not building muscle. You're just getting more tired and hurting your sets later. Your turn.
Going to grocery shopping, you know, together with your girls.
That's your friendship now?
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of drinking. Hey, that's both legs.
Oh man, I forgot. I'm not ready for that.
Yes, you are. All right, let's get it.
Okay.
Is it too heavy, maybe? You were doing the same weight as me last week. Come on, all the way up. Slow all the way. Slow all the way. 15 if you can.
I feel like the first set is always the hardest.
Yeah,
It gets easier like the second set.
I agree with that. So here again, you see Jane setting up a step up or a platform to stand on. It's so that she can get her hips above the back pad and lean forward on this. That puts her in a much better position to curl this more naturally.
Yeah, it's recording. Don't say anything weird. You're getting that pause. Right there. Where am I pausing? Where it hurts. If it hurts, yeah, pause there. How was that?
It sucks.
So that means it was good. So what if you don't have these fancy rollers here that go in your rack for you to put your leg on? You can use a bench right here. So Jane's gonna show you how to do it on a bench. So the bench is a little bit higher, but you can still get the same workout. So we use the rack here so we can really focus on the muscle building and not so much on the balancing. Okay, so she's not pulling with her hands. She's just holding kind of as a rail, holding up and down to keep her stable so she can really use the muscle and not be using all the stabilizer muscles. We're really trying to target the quad here. Very nice. So she's pushing through the heel, really loading that quad, extending at the top, pausing at the bottom. Done. And so a tip is also this: if you're working out with somebody, don't go from left leg straight to right leg. Do it like sets, like you do your left and then your partner can do their left and then you do your right, because the leg that's supporting you in the back is getting a pretty heavy stretch on the hamstring. So as you're going down, when I'm coming down here, I'm really stretching the, I said hamstring, didn't I? Really stretching the quad here. So it's actually working the quad here as well. So if I go straight from this and I move straight into this one, I'm gonna not have as much in the tank. So I'm not gonna get a full strength rep out of that one. So if you're working out by yourself, take like a 60 to 90 second break before you do your other leg. Don't go straight into the other one.
Here's another alternative you can do. We're about to put a bar on our rack with a squat. What is that? A squat pad. It's not as comfortable, but it's another alternative if you don't have like one of these benches either.
So notice here I'm spending a lot of energy on balancing as opposed to just loading my leg. You see I got my arms out and I'm kind of wobbly here. So I did this to show you what it looks like when you are not using a rack or something to support your balance. Now watch when I step in here and I actually get to use the rack to support, how much more comfortable and confident I am in the lift, and I'm able to focus all of my energy on working my leg out as opposed to balancing. All right, I hope everyone enjoyed the video, found something helpful. If you want to, like and subscribe. If you don't want to, I can't make you. It does help though, so I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day. Get buff. Let's get it.